murder of children. How easily it can happen. There are those in our own country, too, who today speak of the protection of country, of survival. A decision must be made in the life of every nation at the very moment when the grasp of the enemy is at its throat. Then it seems that the only way to survive is to use the means of the enemy, to rest survival upon what is expedient, to look the other way. Well, the answer to that is survival as what? A country isn't a rock. It's not an extension of oneself. It's what it stands for. It's what it stands for when standing for something is the most difficult. Before the people of the world, let it now be noted that here in our decision, this is what we stand for. Justice, truth, and the value of a single human being. The marshal will produce before the tribunal the defendant Han. Emil Han, the tribunal finds you guilty and sentences you to life in prison.
Today you sentence me, tomorrow the Bolsheviks sentence you.
The marshal will produce the defendant Hofstetter before the tribunal. Friedrich Hofstetter, the tribunal finds you guilty and sentences you to life imprisonment. The marshal will produce the defendant Lampe before the tribunal. Werner Lampe, the tribunal finds you guilty and sentences you to life in prison. The marshal will produce the defendant Ernst Janning before the tribunal. Ernst Janning, the tribunal finds you guilty and sentences you to life imprisonment. He doesn't understand. He just doesn't understand.
He understands.
Justice Ives descending.
I wish to point out strongly my dissenting vote from the decision of this tribunal, as stated by Justice Haywood, and in which Justice Norris concurred. The issue of the actions of the defendants who believe they were acting in the best interests of their country is an issue that cannot be decided in a courtroom alone. It can only be decided objectively, in years to come, in the true perspective of history.
And where shall I put these books, Your Honor?
Put them in the trunk, Mr. Allen.
Sure.
Your Honor, here's something for you to have on the plane.
Oh, no. If you give me any more food, Miss Allen, I won't have any room for anything else.
But it's strudel, the way you like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you forever.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the car for you.
Thanks.
Tickets, passport, immunization, all in order. I'll have your baggage checks and boarding pass at the airport.
Thank you.
See you there no later than 3 o'clock.
Right. Oh, I will give my regards to Miss, what was her name?
Scheffler. Elsa. That's one you owe me.
What do you mean?
Americans aren't very popular in Nuremberg this morning.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
I came here at the request of my client, Ernst Janning. He wishes to see you.
I'm just leaving for the airport.
He says it would mean a great deal to him. Have you heard about the verdict in the IG Farben case? Most of them were acquitted. The others received light sentences. The verdict came in today.
No, I hadn't heard.
I'll make you a wager.
I don't make wagers.
A gentleman's wager. In 5 years, the man you're sentenced to life imprisonment will be free.
Herr Rolf, I have admired your work in the courtroom for many months. You are particularly brilliant in your use of logic. So, what you suggest may very well happen. It is logical in view of the times in which we live. But to be logical is not to be right. And nothing on God's earth could ever make it right.
Someone to see you.
Herr Janning?
Judge Haywood. Please, sit down.
Thank you. You wanted to see me?
Yes, there is something I want to give you. A record. A record of my cases. The ones I remember. I want to give them to someone I can trust. Someone I felt I got to know during the trial.
Thank you. I'll take good care of it.
I know the pressures that have been brought upon you. You will be criticized greatly. Your decision will not be a popular one. But if it means anything to you, you have the respect of at least one of the men you convicted. By all that is right in this world, your verdict was a just one.
Thank you. What you said in the courtroom, it needed to be said.
Judge Haywood, the reason I asked you to come those people, those millions of people, I never knew it would come to that. You must believe it. You must believe it.
Hey, Yana. It came to that the first time you sentenced a man to death you knew to be innocent.
Ai da non me